Hey there, everyone. It's Mrs. D. Thanks for watching. This episode is going to be about games in your educational material. Now, I'm a big believer that we need to make engaging educational experiences for our learners, especially online, because it's different than being in a classroom. You've really got to keep your learners engaged, or they can check out. They can be looking at other screens. They can be, easily walk away and stuff like that. So I do a lot of educational games to do that. And so I wanted to take a few minutes today to share some of those educational games with you that I have found and loved over the past few years. So the first one that I'm going to talk about is Flippity. Okay, so let me close my Krisp background blocker, which I'm a big fan of, and just let you know that you just go to flippity.net. This is one of the best and easiest resources to use that you can gamify things in your class. I don't really gamify a class per se, but I do use games in class. Okay, and so for Flippity, there are all of these different things that you can do. And the ones that I have used the most out of these are the random name picker. The other day, I found myself in a class where we needed this paired up with the bingo game that Flippity has. We needed a caller for bingo, right? Because anyways, it's a long story. One of my students created a bingo game for their Greek goddess study, and we had to recreate it really quickly in class. And we do that by I'll show you bingo in a few minutes. We recreated it by putting the words into the bingo, but then we didn't have a caller. So I was like, okay, how are we going to, have the B4, right? And we did a Flippity randomizer, and it was so quick and easy that I was able to, within 5 minutes, recreate this girl's bingo game. And we played it like 4 times. The kids loved it. So I'll show you the bingo game in a minute, but I've used the random name picker. I have a better app than that one. I've used the randomizer. I've used the virtual breakout, which I'm going to show you in a couple of minutes right there. And I've used the board game. I have used the matching cards. I've used bingo. I have not used the word search or the crossword puzzle, but yes, I have. I have used those. They are awesome as well. I've used the Flippity Snowman, which is like a version of Hangman, and that was so cute. The kids loved it. That's all of the Flippities that I have used, but I'm always looking for more ways to incorporate these things in. So let's talk about the bingo game. I'm going to try to show you a couple of quick little things about each one of these without making this video too long. So the bingo game is so easy to recreate. So let's say I'm going to do this with, you have to have 25, I'm not prepared. So we'll have to like do doubles. 25 or more items, right? 24 or more items actually, because you need to have a free space. You'll have a free space in there. The more items you use, the more randomized you can get your games for everybody, the game board. But so let's say we're going to do this these spelling words, okay? Right now we're doing the IR words: bird, dirt. I forgot that I need more than, so we'll just more than what I have here. I only have 10 words. But I really wanted to show you guys how easy this was. So let's see if I can think of some really quick words to put in here. Let's just put dog, cat, horse, pig, just animals, right? We already have bird. Let's do car, truck. I should have just left the words that were already in there, right? Um, car, truck, boat, plane, um, train. What else can we do? Shoe, jeans, socks. Okay, so anyways, so you would pick your theme, right? And you would want to put all of your words in there. Let's do a few more. Boots, hat, coat, and it's just so quick. It's so quick to put things in. Pencil, notebook, pen, eraser, um, sharpener. I want to make sure I have enough words so that this will work. Okay, and then we're going to say this is a random bingo game. Okay, very random. And then what you do is you generate it. Okay, now when you generate it, you'll come to this screen right here. And then the student that I had printed it, and so she and her family played, but we couldn't, we couldn't print that. So we did play. And then what you do is you take this link and you give that to all of your students. So let's say, let me just pop open a different screen here, and you can paste that into the Zoom chat, right? Or you can embed it into a Google slideshow and then, say everybody click this link, and you can take the link out of your Google slideshow and give it to your students. That's a whole nother process, but, just make a bingo thing and put the link in there and then copy the link in class and give it to your students, because then you will always have it, right? Because it doesn't matter, like I can close this now as long as I have this list, right, this link right here. I can close all of this and forever have this bingo game. Okay, so anyways, the students will all click the bingo link that you send them in chat, which is this, right? You send this link to your students, and then they get, each one of them is going to get a different board, okay? And then they just click when the word comes up. And I would, use the randomizer, just put the words into the randomizer, and they love it, okay? And then somebody gets bingo, what do? You click this and it resets your board. So it's a completely new board. You reset it, it's a new board. The words are all in different places. It cannot get any easier than this, okay? So bingo. Kids love bingo, and it's a great way, like, for spelling words, right? Like you want to review the spelling words. They're looking at the words. They're hearing the words. So it's educational. All right? So think of how you can incorporate bingo into your games, into your classes, because it's just such a fun game for the kids, okay? And then the randomizer will be your call button. So you would go to the randomizer, copy your list here. Go back to Flippity. Now make sure you have this open, right? Before you go back to Flippity, so that you don't lose it. And then you go here, you put your list into the box, okay? And then you generate, okay? And now you have this awesome thing where you call it out, boots, and you can even show them that on the screen. You show them this on the screen, and they go to their bingo board and they try to find boots, right? So I mean, and how long does that take? That literally takes less than 5 minutes to set it up. So you can play it at any time when we want to review something. Okay, so that's one way that I've used Flippity. I've also done it in my escape room. So this is a adding and subtracting double digits within 100 escape room. Okay, and so it goes through this story here, and it's animated. So I'm not going to show you everything, but this is how easy it can be to create uh, an escape room. Okay, you can do it right in Google, and I'll try to have a tutorial for that soon. But we're gonna get to this, right? And then this is the task. Where are my buttons? Okay, with sounds. I spent a lot of time on this one. Okay, so here's the problem, right? And then you want them to unlock a lock. Well, it's really hard to figure out how to get locks in here, but I'm going to show you all these different ways that I've created some escape rooms that might help get you in. But anyway, right here we have this enter answer, okay? That opens me up to my Flippity locks, and their task is to unlock all 4 of them, and then at the very end they have to enter, they have to know a certain thing in order for them to pass the escape room. But anyways, so unlock the first one. The answer is 30 baskets of apples, and it has to be Exactly that, because if it's not, it won't unlock, okay? So you might, that's what that hint was down there. I meant to show you that. Let me open it again and show you. If you put the wrong thing in, if you just put 30, it doesn't unlock, right? Right? And so this is a tip right here. Do you want to show it? Yes. Label your answer. So 30, 30 baskets. Still not right. 30 baskets of apples. So they have to be very specific. So it teaches them, to put that label on there for that particular math question. So whatever your target is, you can have them answering questions here and going through the process of unlocking the locks in order to get through an escape room. Okay, and all right, so that's it for Flippity. We're going to stop Flippity there. And the next one I want to talk about is Educandy. Educandy is another really amazing, very easy to use site. Okay, this one I used in my Leaning Tower of Pisa escape room for this particular one. I also did it for the Pyramids of Egypt. I think I have Educandy in there. But anyway, so this is a different kind of escape room. I created it in Canva, and it has a lot of Google activities and the Wheel of Names activities. I'm going to show you those too. I'm not going to show you all of these. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep you that long. But I did want to show you a couple of the Google Doc ones and the Educandy one, okay? Because Educandy is very much like Flippity. If you take a look here, this is what it looks like when you go onto it, educandy.com, and then you just scroll down here, and these are the things that you can create, okay? And so when you click one, it doesn't really matter which one oh, sorry, hold on, let me see. How do you get to the educator one? I'm sorry, I forgot how to get to the educator one. Let me show you the game, okay? This is the actual game that I created. You label it, okay? You give them instructions, and then you have these notes area, right? And it says read the linked article first. So I tell my students when they're doing the escape rooms that they always want to read the instruction, because they're going to come here and they're just going to try to play a game and they're going to have no idea what it is because they didn't read the article. So I've got this article ready for them. Okay? So when they read this article, then they can go back and do one of these activities. Okay? So let's take a look at the matchup one. Okay, so then we're going to play that. And it's just a cute little extra thing to do. Okay, and so they have to match the answers. Owner of the construction Catholic Church successfully straightened the tower in 1990s. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, so it gives you. There we go. One of the lesser known architects. I don't remember the answers. I haven't reviewed this in a long time. Let's see. Donated 60 silver coins. That was her. I remember that. And this one, and then that. And then they get their clue. Okay. The two numbers in the commission group added together give the first number of the lock code. So it was 12, the lock code was 3, so then they go back and they enter that into the lock wherever it is. Okay, so that's one of the things that they can play. They can do a different one too. They can play a memory game where they match up that answer with the name. Okay, so it'll show you that. Okay, so that's not an answer. See, so he says nope. That's not one of your answers. Okay, so Educandy, another really good educational resource to use. And let's just click on, I don't know if it's only app created now. Let's click on one of these and see what happens. If we can create our own. We cannot create our own. This is musical instruments. So, I'm going to have to do a follow-up on how to actually use it for those of you who need the instructions on how to use this, because it's been a while since I created that room, and I don't remember. I didn't have to download an app to create that stuff. Maybe I did and it was on a different computer. So I guess in order to create, you are going to have to install it, which is okay. It's trustworthy. You can do it. I've used Educandy for a while now. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to install that because I really need to start using some of these again. Another really great one that I use is Wordwall. So I'm trying to go through my tabs as I finish here. So we're done with Educandy. And like I said, another really great one. We're done with Leaning Power. Okay. Actually, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, one of my links leads you to Google Docs. Now, this is another way that you can create a specific looking crossword, but it's a little bit more difficult. Like this is kind of time consuming to create it like this. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because you have to, outline every box and then you have to conditionally format each one of these squares and then to, turn a certain color if they get the right answer. So I have them turn green when they get the right answer and turn red when they get the wrong answer. So let's see, what is the number of minutes it takes to visit the tower? I3, and that is 45. But let's say, like, what? It's telling me that I'm wrong. I3, 45 is the number of minutes it takes to. I don't know why it's telling me I'm wrong. Okay, let's try a different one. What is the age limit for visitors to the tower? K5. 8. They are only allowed to be 8. Oh, this is 35. Ah, see? Okay, so there, I illustrated exactly what it does when you put in the right answer and when you put in the wrong answer. But again, that was very time consuming to make. So these these options of Flippity and Educandy, way easier, much better as far as streamlining your work, okay? But Google Docs is always an option. You can do Google Forms, you can do Google Sheets, which is what this is to create the crossword puzzle. You can also do word searches that way too. But the next thing that I wanted to talk about was Wordwall. Wordwall is a great thing. You can create your own games in here, but you're only allowed to have a certain number of them on a free account, and then you have to pay for an account. So what I actually most usually do is go to I go to Google and I search Wordwall, and there you can see it down there. Wordwall third grade IR spelling words. Say that's what I'm working on, so that's what I want to do. It's whatever you want to work, what you're working on with your class, okay? And then I just take a look at what they have to offer. What words do we have here? Okay. And then these are all games that you can play. Now, this is a screen share type of thing. Where you can play these different words, different games based off of what you're doing in class, okay? But you always want to check these out before because sometimes they're not so great because they are teacher made and there's like so many of them. You want to check them out before you actually try to use them. But I have been, when I create curriculum, especially for like my ELA class, I always put one of these at the end of the slideshow so that if there's extra time in class, that extra time can be consumed by doing a word wall game. So when I create the curriculum, of course, there's a specific theme that we're working on. Then when I finish that creation, I take the theme and I search for a word wall game, and then I take a screenshot of the word wall game and I put it into. It'd probably be easier to show you what I do, and then I put it into the end of the slideshow with a clickable link for the teacher or myself who's running the class to go ahead and play this game with them. So this is what it looks like inside, and in the slideshow it would be like this. So this is a random wheel that somebody created. I didn't create this, somebody else created, okay? So you spin and you answer the question. This is not one of the best examples of a word wall game, but you can see that it's animated and it has sound and you don't have to do the work, okay? So that's what we want to do. We want to avoid doing the work. Let me find another one for you. Here we go. Paraphrasing. This is a fun one. The kids love the quiz show ones, okay? So I found a Wordwall, third and fourth grade Wordwall game on paraphrasing, and all I did was put that screenshot in with the link to come right here to this game, and we play this game at the end of class if we have time. And that way you're never like, oh, I ended my class early. No, you don't end your class early. You review through a game. You reinforce your concepts by using games. So Wordwall, wordwall.net, another really great resource to use. Check that one out. Okay, that's how I use Wordwall. And then the last, is that the last one I want to talk about? Yeah, the last one that I want to talk about is the wheelofnames.com. I believe I have a video on this somewhere already, but the wheelofnames.com is a really great randomizer. I like this one better than Flippity because it has more options for colors, sound effects, and it's just, I think it's a prettier wheel. There's a lot of things that I like about it. What I don't like about it is when I'm on this sharing screen, you get to see the ad. But that's okay because the other thing you can do is you can save. So I have tons. Look, these are all my wheels that I've linked into my curriculum. So all I have to do is click that link and it brings me to whatever wheel it is that I want to work on. So I've got wheels for phonics, I've got wheels for escape rooms, I've got wheels for like my reading classes. Let's see what else. I have a wheel for a pillowcase bingo game. I have a wheel for ESL class talk for 1 minute about certain things. I have a wheel of topics for paragraph writing. Wheels are amazing ways to get randomized topics that you might need for a class. And if you really sit and think about it, you can think about a lot of ways to use this. I just gave you a whole bunch of them. Now, let me show you the Leaning Tower of Pisa example. So this is what it will look like full screen when you get the link, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. And then this is a review game for the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and it goes and it asks who was someone in the tower, what, where, when, why, and how. I did that for all of those social studies escape rooms I created for the Colosseum, the Taj Mahal, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the Pyramids of Egypt. I created those. And the big thing about them was the students were going to be able to answer who, what, where, when, why, and how after taking the class. And how do we test that? We test that through this wheel. They click the wheel, or I click the wheel. This one has, they all have music. You can randomize the music. And then when was the tower begun, finished, and closed? So it's a review, right? So they give you, you can either tell you the answer or they cannot tell you the answer. I've found that they generally can tell the answer when they're doing escape rooms because it's interactive, interesting, engaging learning. So I'm a huge fan of those. They're time consuming to make, but they are one of the most rewarding classes as far as student retention of information and just fun, just a great way to learn. So that is what Leaning Tower of Pisa looks like. What you do to get that link is, let me open up this talk about you. Okay, so this is another example. Different music, different sound. You can do sound effects, you can do music, you can do lots of different things. And then the great thing about this wheel as well that Flippity does not offer is that you can remove it, right? So as you go through and they answer things, you can remove those questions so that they don't actually come up again if you don't want them to, right? Okay, so anyways, the way that you get your link for that is you share, you continue, you choose your options, edit the title, and then you can choose this option. I usually let them create their own copy if they want to, because who cares if they use the wheelofnames.com? If they're using that something that you showed them, great. Okay, and then you continue, you get your link, and you embed that into your Google slide. And I have videos on how to embed slides into Google's embed links into Google Slide, like all pretty and stuff. So you can check those out if you're not sure how to do it. But you just take that link, you put it in there, and then you are able to click it like the one that I showed you before that comes up on that full screen. I mean, you do have the full screen option here. Where is the full screen option? I don't know. Why I can't see it because I'm filming a video is probably why. But anyway, so, oops, sorry. The bad thing is once you click it by accident, you cannot stop it. So we have to wait for that. Okay, so anyways, that's the wheelofnames.com. Big fan of that. Another great way to use something interesting and engaging in your curriculum. So we looked at Flippity, we looked at Educandy, we looked at Wordwall, we looked at the wheelofnames.com, and we looked at Google Docs and Google Sheets to create engaging activities that reinforce learning, that engage your students in their learning journey with you. I hope that you are able to use some of these things. They've been very successful for me. So go have fun creating and putting these into your classes, incorporating them into any class that you teach. All right, take care. Thanks so much. Like, subscribe, hit your notification button, drop me a comment, share this video. Thank you so much for following me in my journey.